All right, I got some good advice for you. Do you want to make more money in the stock market? Just don't trade like me. I swear, you'll make more money if you just don't trade like me. If anything, just watch my videos every day and you'll realize what you shouldn't do. It's the perfect lesson. Okay, I'll tell you what happened today. I actually traded 4 stocks and I made money on all 4 of them, but I left money on the table. This is my lesson for today. You you can lose money by leaving money on the table, right? That was yesterday. I showed you how I left money on the table. Well, today I did too, simply because I got greedy and I was just $2 away from my daily goal. My daily goal is $200. I eventually want to get to 400 a day and then 1,000 a day in retirement. But right now, this is year 4 for me, just starting. $200 a day is my goal. Sometimes I'm a little more, sometimes I'm a little less. But I was just $2 away. That's it. And I thought, oh, I had done really well in Palantir, and I thought I'm just going to take one more trade. And then I think I lost $10 on that trade. And then I said, okay, one more, because now I got to make up about $12, right? And then I lost $10 more. And that's how that happens. You should not overtrade. If you even get close to your daily goal, just close, just shut down, be done, and be happy. Because tomorrow you might make just slightly more and it'll even out at the end of the week. And I really look at the month. So let's look at this. I'm looking down here at my notes. I did really good on Palantir, but again, I left about $50 on the table, or I gave $50 back. And then Walmart, I broke even, and I'll show you that. They had really good earnings, but bad guidance. And I got kind of caught in that guidance because I was up and then came down. So I'll go over that too. And then OPEN had some good news at the end and a little bit of volume. They had good earnings, but it was only moving pennies. And I just get bored sitting there waiting for pennies. I should have upped my share size, is what I should have done, and captured a little more because I only captured about $7. So I really should have upped my share size on that. I've never traded open, so I didn't know what to expect. So if there's a stock that I have not traded before, especially at earnings after hours, and they can dump, I just play it safe, which is what I did. Okay, let me go show you what you shouldn't be doing in the stock market. Let's go.
All right. I'm going to show you how to make money. Just don't do what I'm showing you and you'll make money. All right, here we go. 4 stocks today. Really good that all 4 were green. I mean, Walmart was break even, literally 000, just to the penny. So I'm happy with that. I'm always happy when my morning is all green. Lord knows a red trade can kind of bring you down and make you skittish. So right at the let's see, this was at 4:30 in the morning. I'm on Pacific Coast time. So this is stupid. Do not trade like this. First of all, ELAB, they had news. There was nothing else going on. It's almost 5 o'clock. I hadn't taken a trade. So I see this coming here. Now I did stop. You'll notice I marked levels right here. And what happened was this goes up. Right when it goes up on news, I go over to my daily chart and I marked my levels here. And I showed you that yesterday, how I marked those. So I knew that this was a level right here. It went through that level and it pulled back. And in my brain, it was pulling back, and I wanted to capture it as it went past this level, thinking that would be a good spot. But normally I wait till this candle or this price goes past this pivot point on the left, the candle on the left. Especially when you see this wick coming down, that's showing you that there were sellers coming in. And you can see it here, volumes coming up and sellers are coming up and they're approaching the buyers here. So that really should have been a clue to me. And then this volume bar here shows sellers overtaking the buyers pretty badly. So I can't tell you why I got into that, but I did not look down here. I totally ignored this over here and I was looking at this level. So I got in at $1.55 here with 500 shares. And then I scaled in over here. It pulled back more and I scaled in. And let's see, I got in at 151. I was anticipating the break of this and I hit it a little too soon and got in too quick. So it comes up and pulls right back again. So the good news is it's starting to hang out at this level here, this support level. So up here, it goes up, and I just realized that this just isn't moving much. It's a few pennies. I don't have that many shares. And these candles with all the wicks here just made me not like this action that was going on. And I really felt this was going to happen right here. It was just going to come down. You want to see it going straight up, and you don't want to see all these wicks here pushing it down. So right in here, I started scaling out, and then I scaled out fully. Oh, it looks like I scaled out 3/4 here, and then, or I scaled out all of it. Sorry, I was out fully on this candle. It comes back. I still see it sitting at the support, and it's also sitting here on VWAP. And so I get back in right here. Sorry, right here, and then it tanks down and I'm out. So I was actually up quite a bit more. I can't remember how much. I think it wasn't that much more. Anyways, I only came out with $4.58. I lost a bit right here, and I had a little more over here. So I was done with it. I could tell by all these wicks and this price action that it was coming down. So let's move on to Walmart. Walmart had really great earnings, you guys. And that was one I had marked out levels, and I was waiting for their earnings. Now, I was a little worried because, the economy's not good. People don't want to spend money. Interest rates are high. So I wasn't quite sure. So I only did 25 shares. Earnings came out right here, and it was good. So it had dumped, which sometimes price will dump right before the earnings announcement comes out. So it did dump right here. And then this doji candle, and buyers push it up. It opened a little bit lower. It kind of gapped down to open. So I got in at 25 shares because the earnings were good. And I didn't want to get any more than that because I wasn't sure what guidance would be. And usually they'll announce guidance right after the earnings. So I wanted to make sure I was at least in. And this for me was going to be a starter position because I figured I'd be trading Walmart all the way into the open. If earnings were really good, I'd probably continue trading it. It did end up going up at the open, and I probably should have continued trading it, but I moved on. So I captured this here. Then it comes down. I should have just got out right here, but again, earnings were good. And then guidance came out, and guidance was not good. And you see these wicks right here pushing price down. So I kind of realized at this point right here, it wasn't going to recover, at least not at this moment. And the guidance was, they're very conservative in their guidance, and they were being conservative. So I thought, well, I'm going to wait until after the open and trade it. I got out here, and I literally got in at $123.29, and I got out at $123.29. I did that purposely. You'll see 0 over here. I wanted to make sure. Well, I can't believe that I got in and out at the same, and there's a little bit of a spread, so I'm not sure how I managed that. But I wasn't going to let it go below my entry price because I knew I still had the rest of the day to trade this. Earnings were pre-market. So there's plenty of time. So there's no sense in letting it come down and get it into a loss and have a drawdown and then have to work your way back up just in case it doesn't come back up because of that guidance. So I planned that out. I got out right at break even, and I'm glad I did that. Let's move on to Palantir. Now, after the open, I didn't trade Walmart. I moved on. I had already marked out about 6 different stocks. I normally mark levels on Palantir, Nvidia. I did Amazon today. They had a little bit of good news, and Google is one that I always mark out. So I have them ready to go. So I always want to mark my levels before we start and make sure that I at least have something to trade that I can just real quick pull up and be ready. So I'm going to show you this mess right here. It looks like a mess, but what I want to show you what I saw in the chart and why I liked the price action. So you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to get rid of those trades. Okay, now you can see. So right at the beginning here, my screen, I always tell you it's so slow and sluggish when I have this screen share on. Okay, right at the open, it dumps, it comes down, and we get a big shooting candle up, but another one down that was red. So I stayed away from it right here. I started getting into it around this area, started kind of leveling out, and it wasn't going too high or too low. And that's about a 50-cent move right there. So I see right here, we get this doji, and I really watched it here, and I started getting in, I think, right in this area. But notice how it goes down, it comes up, and I've talked about this before. I like this pattern where it doesn't dump down and pull back and go up, I see it more like it's going across and pulling up. And see how it goes across and pulls up and across and pulls up and then across. This is where I fully got out right here, because now that's a pullback, and that's a pretty big pullback. We're coming down the whole length of this move right here. And that's when I knew I wanted to be done. I tried to get back in a little over here, and I'll talk to you about that because that's where I lost some money. I was at about $180, and with what I had done this morning, it put me right at about $198. And I was so stubborn. I thought, I want to make $2 more. What the hell? So I love that price action. I wrote it really well. I did good. And it was just quick scalps because, I didn't know when it was going to come back down. The major levels, it was holding levels right at those major levels. So we get over here and I'm stubborn and I want to get back in. And I started to play this in here, but I did not play it well. I knew that now I was no longer looking at these volume bars down here, this scalping indicator, and I wasn't watching. Look at this. The MACD is telling me it's going down. I wasn't watching any of that. And then this right here, this line is the average volume for the session. And look, it's all below volume. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So when I lost that first $10 and then another $10, I just knew I'm too focused on the P&L, and I was trying so hard to trade my P&L and make it go up that I was not focusing on price action, on candles, on volume, MACD, nothing. So I can't stress to you enough. You have to not worry about how much you're going to make that day. If you've done some really strong positive trading and you have followed price action and it's clean, and what you made, I don't care how much it is, if it's only $10, $20, if you traded really clean and you're proud of the way you traded, you can just stop. It's okay. Stocks move every single day. Hell, they move all day. Take a break, take a walk, and come back. So I was so close to the finish line and I just let it go. All right, so I redeemed myself a little bit on OPEN. They had earnings. I had marked out, you'll see over here to the left, I marked out a bunch of earnings, but at lunch, I told you I come back at lunch and I go through all the companies that are having earnings in the afternoon after the close, and I pull them up on a daily chart and I check all their earnings for the past year and just see how they moved and how they reacted. I really wasn't interested in any of this at all, but I thought I'd sit here in case we got a surprise. So let me put the trades back on the screen so you can actually see them. I only did $7, but it was one trade, so I did not overtrade. That was good. So they had good earnings. This is not a stock I trade. It's a $5 stock, first of all. I normally trade large caps on earnings. So I'm used to trading a large cap where I expect $10 to $15 or more in price movement within 1 or 2 minutes at the close on earnings. And I'm in and out so fast. And even with 25 shares on a $10 move, if I can capture $10, that's $250 at the end of the day. I don't get greedy. That's enough. And sometimes I'll get in with a bigger share size if I'm really comfortable with the stock and it's one I trade. Of course, I'll do 100, sometimes 200. And those are the days where I can hit 1,000 or 2,000. And I've done that quite often. But this one, I went in with just with 100 shares. It's a $5 stock. It cost me $500. So we get this wick coming down, and the earnings, I'll be honest with you, the earnings confused me. I am listening to Benzinga Squawk, and I'm hearing him say the earnings, and he stumbled over his words. And I think he mixed up what the analysts were expecting and what they actually did. And look at these earnings right here. The estimated was negative 10 cents, and they actually did a negative $1.26. So that's terrible. So I couldn't quite tell what he was saying, and I'm watching price action and it's going up. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I heard him wrong, or maybe I'm reading it wrong. And when the numbers are negative, sometimes I'm not calculating it really fast when I'm trying to watch all this price action. So I go ahead and get in because I see it's going up, and I'm thinking maybe I don't know something. Maybe something was better than expected, or maybe, I don't know, they got a big contract or whatever they do. Open Door, I think it's some sort of real estate. I don't trade this company. Okay, so I get in for $5.05 and I get out at $5.12. It's just a few pennies, but I don't want to take a chance. I have already left money on the table by giving it back. Today on Palantir, I gave back about $50 total. So I just decided that's it, I'm done. And it inched up just a little here and came down, and I watched it kind of throughout this area here. And I just didn't want to get back into it. And the volume wasn't good. So this was just a no-go for me. So that's it. End of the day, I had three winners, one exactly break even. And let's see here. My day ended up at $151.91. I'm thrilled with that. It wasn't the 200 I expected, but I'm thrilled. So don't overtrade. Be happy with what you have. And if you're really close to your daily goal and things don't feel like they're jiving and there's nothing moving really hard and fast, just let it go. My God, there's always tomorrow. Okay, guys, in the comments, I love it when you tell me what you traded today or how you did. What are you seeing? I did get back into a couple large caps here, which I said I was going to kind of pull back on those this week, but I saw something good in Palantir and decided to take it. All right. Thanks so much. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for following along. I appreciate you.